What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Tom Gronkowski Show. I am your host, Ruth the Truth. Good to see you guys again. I'm still kind of recuperating from visiting New Orleans and being at the Caesars Superdome. I try to overcompensate my voice since those New Orleans Saints fans are ruthless and they are loud. And there was not nearly as many Bucs fans in the building. So I try to overcompensate by being as loud as I possibly could. And I left my voice at the Caesars Superdome. But thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the Tom Gronkowski Show, where we follow the journey of Tom Brady and Gronk Gronkowski as they travel from the Beantown to the Bay as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and brought to you by Fans Only Sports Network. If you could do me a solid, hit that share button, hit that retweet button, wherever social platform that you are watching it from. Subscribe to our YouTube page on Fans Only Sports Network. We would really appreciate that. I also started a network on my own called Beauty in the Cleats. So please give us a follow on Twitter. It's beauty_cleats. It's where me and my partner, Christina, the Tampa Sports Bay, are taking on all sports Tampa teams. And that's just our new network that we're going to be working from. But thank you for joining us once again. New Orleans was insane this weekend because not only was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Saints as division rivals, but it was also Halloween. So, I had to dress up as a pirate to represent the Buccaneers in New Orleans. And I got a lot of backlash, especially walking to my hotel room from the Caesars Superdome. I decided to change costumes because I brought a multitude of costumes with me. But the harassment I was receiving from those Saints fans were just going to drive me insane all night. So I ended up changing costumes before hitting the town. New Orleans has always been one of my favorite towns to visit, especially for spooky season, because they really know how to get down for Halloween. And I had a blast, caught a 6 a.m. flight back to Orlando, and man, was it a long morning for me. But without further ado, I'm going to bring my co-host in here, Coach Jay Morgan. Welcome back to the show, my friend. It's good to see you. How you feeling? You had a day off. Are you nice and recuperated, or were you, running around doing errands, taking care of things? Because you never really have a day off in adulthood.
No, never. Never. I'm tired. Like, honestly, when we finish up this episode, I'm probably going to put this rest of this chicken Caesar salad inside of the refrigerator and go to sleep.
You see, if it already has the dressing in it, you're going to have to finish it, because when you put a salad with dressing already on it in the fridge, it turns out to be a soggy mess.
No,
and it's never enjoyable the next day.
I only put because I got two little things of Caesar, so I only put just a little bit, but I ate that half. So there's another half.
Smart guy. All right, well, we won't take up too much of your time because I know you've had a long day. I'm jumping on the sports arena right after this because we're having a Dallas Cowboys episode where Eric Wilson recruited all of his friends that are Dallas Cowboys fans for them to hash it out, because the Dallas Cowboys are 6-1 and they had an impressive win on the road in Minnesota against Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook, and they were able to pull off a win with their backup quarterback, Cooper Rush, who was stepping in for Dak Prescott, who hasn't been 100% since having that calf strain against the New England Patriots in that overtime win. But the Dallas Cowboys have won 6 straight games since facing the Super Bowl champs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in week 1 to kick off the 21-22 season. So we won't be taking up too much time because we are headed into the bye week for the Buccaneers. The bye week couldn't have come at a more perfect time, let me tell you, because the mess that we saw at the Superdome was just disappointing, and we're going to jump into that. But before we do, I want to talk about a very serious incident that transpired early Tuesday morning with the Las Vegas Raiders. They are back in the headlines for things that have nothing to do with football. And this weekend this past Tuesday morning, or all of Tuesday, was just really, really sad over the things that transpired on Tuesday morning. I'm sure everybody's heard already, but we're gonna take a few minutes to talk about it because it's an important subject, because it's beyond football. It's about humanity and just doing the right thing. So, wide receiver Henry Ruggs III was involved in a DUI car accident that involved somebody losing their life, and he was I think he blew like 101, which is like almost triple the legal amount. So obviously under the influence, the incident happened just before 4 o'clock in the morning on that day, and it resulted in a 23-year-old woman losing her life as well as her dog, which I just read in an article. It wasn't just her; her dog was also in the car. Henry Ruggs was traveling, they said, 156 miles per hour.
Yeah, he was in a Corvette.
His Corvette, was it a Corvette?
He was in a Corvette.
Yeah, he was in a Corvette, and he collided with the back of a Toyota, and the girl and her dog were trapped in the vehicle, and the car set on fire. So by the time the paramedics got there, it was already too late, and a young lady lost her life. And a very, very, very sad and disappointing incident because I mean, yes, Henry Ruggs is a 22-year-old NFL player that, yes, he's young, but I mean, you're taught at a very young age that there's some things you just don't do. And you can't even call this a mistake, because a mistake, you could say sorry and take things back and do better next time. But it's not a mistake when somebody lost their life over a decision that you decided to do, which, I mean, put him in the hospital as well. Obviously, they're not life-threatening injuries. And then I come to find out that his girlfriend was also in the car. So, I mean, dude, 156 miles per hour
trying to show up
over like 3:30 in the morning with your girlfriend in the car.
Yeah, they were drinking.
Dude,
trying to show out.
Don't do that. And it was said that he was at some type of a team event or some type of charity event or something that he was at earlier that day that was documented on social media, that he was drinking. So, I mean, and that was like at 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So from 7 o'clock to 3 in the morning, a lot could have happened. You could have sobered up. I mean, you could have called somebody to drive you. You are an NFL player, so you have the fun to call an Uber. There's so many things that you could have done differently, and because of his decisions, it led to a loss of life. So, Coach Jay Morgan, I want to know what was your reaction to this incident, and do you have anything that you would want to say to the public to maybe help influence our younger generation?
Yeah. When I first heard about it, I heard about it like a couple of hours ago with some guys that I work with at the part-time. They was talking about it because one of the guys is a Raiders fan. So he's like, did you hear the crap? We're in the news again. I'm like, well, what happened? He's like, oh, well, this guy did this. I'm like, oh, that's the receiver, ain't it? And he's like, yeah. So he telling me about this person and all that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's over. Even though he in the hospital, you about to go to jail. I'm like, straight up, you going to jail. Since you ain't dead, you about to go to jail. Because you took somebody's life. Kids, y'all need to stop, man. Stop showing out. Be yourself. Stop trying to be tough. Just be yourself. I mean, that stuff, like Ruth said, that stuff could have been easily, avoided. But no, you're 22. You got the funds and all that. You play for the NFL. I know that power. I understand. I get it. But it's not worth it at the end of the day. Just be yourself. That's all you have to do. You guys this generation, y'all be trying to show out too much. Then when y'all meet somebody real, then you show your true self. I'm generation, X. What is it, millennium or something like that?
Yeah, millennials.
I'm millennial. Oh, are you a kid now? Oh, okay. Act like one then until it's time for you to act like the real thing, the real deal, a man. Because right now you 22 and you just took somebody's life away. You about to go and be somewhere with some real men that they gonna test you. So you can put yourself in your life, you threw it down the drain. That's gonna hunt you for the rest of your life. Not to mention you killed a dog too. You already know how they got Vic. And you killed him. Oh man, you killed a person and a dog. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring up the Michael Vick thing, because I was doing a little bit of research on past situations that included DUIs and included life loss because of an NFL player. And there was an incident that happened in 2009 with Deontay Stallworth.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah, you remember him?
Yeah.
That he decided to drive after drinking. He was drunk and decided to drive and hit a pedestrian and killed a man.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and killed a man.
Disappeared. It disappeared. I ain't hear nothing else about it.
So apparently he served 28 days in jail when he was supposed to be serving. They were saying that he was supposed to serve a sentence of 15 years. And he served 28 days and was released and played in the NFL again.
What?
How does that even happen?
He had the right lawyer.
So and it was right around the time that Michael Vick was in prison for the whole dog fighting scandal, which obviously is bad as well. But I mean, a human life and a dog life does not compare.
No.
The man that passed away by Stallworth's decision to drive drunk was a grandfather, was a father. He had a family. He was a husband. And making an irresponsible decision like that was detrimental to a family. And a lot of people, were not understanding of how the law system can allow somebody to walk the streets after such a bad situation that resulted in someone passing away, but then Michael Vick is serving prison time. Not really adding up. Our legal system.
It's who you know.
Yeah, our legal system has definitely. When it comes to celebrities, when it comes to athletes, it kind of seems like in the past they've had like a golden ticket, and they were able to get away with things that the normal Joe, the normal you and I wouldn't be getting away with, and it's
Still
unfair.
But some of them don't even
I think right now with the whole Henry Ruggs situation, it's really time for our law system to do the right thing and put this kid behind bars. Yes, he's 22 years old, but at the end of the day, he's an adult.
You messed up.
He needs to be tried as an adult.
You messed up.
Somebody lost their life because he made
stupid decision.
A decision that could have killed himself and his girlfriend that was in the car with him.
Trying to show out.
So it could have been a situation where 3 or 4 lives could have been lost. But have you had any opportunity to look at the film or the pictures of the vehicle?
No.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad. It was so sad. Really bad situation. And yeah, 156 miles per hour is what they're saying in the car.
Yeah. He's stupid. He needs to slow down. He's trying to show out. That's what those young dudes do. Oh, I got the money and all that. Oh, I'm showing out now. And you see, that's why you stay humble. You just lost it. You just lost it all. Just like that.
Yeah.
Trying to show out.
Yeah, really, really sad situation. I'm hoping our legal system will do the right thing, and our victims' families are grieving, or the victim family is grieving right now. And I just send prayers to the family and to the lost soul and to the dog as well, because it was a meaningless death. It could have been avoided. It could have 100% been avoided. Just pick up the phone and call somebody. If you're not good to drive, I mean, that also speaks on the company that you keep.
Yeah.
The so-called friends that are around you. That could also be detrimental to these NFL players, to athletes in general. Is you have these people around you that they're just all about what you can provide and the money that you dish out, but they're not caring about the kind of reckless decisions that you're making that could end your career. So if I was the young lady sitting next to him, I would have been like, if you don't slow down, or who knows what happened? I mean, they could have been arguing, and that's why he decided to speed. All that, you never know what really happened.
You were drinking. I tell people all the time, if I don't feel like I can drive, I'm gonna tell you, because for one, I don't want to hurt nobody.
Right.
I don't want to hurt myself, but I'm gonna be honest, I really don't want to hurt my car. I don't want to hurt. Like, no, I ain't messing up none of that.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna say that I'm innocent, because in my early 20s, when my father passed away, I turned to alcohol and partying, and there was a couple times where I made it back to my apartment, and once I got home, I kind of sat in my car and was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You just take a deep breath, like, thank God. There was no way in hell I should have been driving. I made a bad decision. And I thank God every day for those few times that I did drink and drive, that I made it home safe. But you're blowing double the limit. I mean, you were wasted at that point.
Wasted. You trying to show out?
Definitely. So
That's what they do.
we'll leave that conversation there. Like I said, we send prayers to the family that is grieving, and we just hope and pray that the legal system, brings justice to the situation. And he's honestly going to probably be made of an example for other NFL players, because he's going to probably be like in some type of, I don't know, like a video or like a seminar to these college students that are entering the NFL. Like, this is what you don't do. Yeah, you get the bag. Yeah, you get the popularity and the fame, but this is how you could ruin it all in one night. Don't be that guy.
But
You
this is
guys
the thing
have
about
enough
it.
money to call somebody to pick you up. Like, I know a couple athletes that don't even drive. They don't drive at all. They hired a person that is on their ready in their driveway 24/7.
That's right. Told my chauffeur to the top.
Right.
That's how you do it. Well, what you call it? But yeah, y'all kids, man, y'all need to stop that stuff. They don't never show y'all the hardship of stuff that in the back half. They only show you just the glamorous and the glorious things that come with it.
Yeah.
Man, them people ain't your friend. And here's another thing for future athletes that are going to be in the NFL. If you're in the NFL, if I'm in the NFL, I could be coaching or playing. I'm partying at the house.
Great, go home.
I know I got a big house.
Right.
So why am I going out? Man, I'm partying at the house.
Sorry, I gotta put my laptop is not on the charger, so I don't want to just go out. So let me make sure it's plugged in. So so we'll leave the conversation there. Appreciate anybody who was tuning in. We just had to get that off our chest. Definitely had to speak on the subject because it was definitely heartbreaking news, and I can't even imagine what the family is going through right now, because they're probably seeing the replays over and over again all over television, because it is one of the most hot topics of the week, and it's definitely something that we don't want to discuss. But at the end of the day, don't drink and drive. Uber is not that expensive. If I have friends out there that ever find themselves in the situation, give me a call. I don't care how late it is. I took a little bit of a hiatus from drinking. I was clean for about a month without a drip of alcohol. Then I went to New Orleans, and on Halloween night, I decided to have a couple of drinks and completely regretted it the next day. So I think I'm going back on my cleanse, because alcohol and my body are just not mixing well lately. So I'm going to leave it at that. So thank you, Coach Jay, for taking the time to discuss that with me. But let's hop back into some football conversation.
All right, here we go.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were 6-1 and traveled to the Caesars Superdome to take on the New Orleans Saints, their division rivals, and they lost 36-27.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Jay, what the heck happened? What happened? Tell me, because I was there and I still can't believe it. I was sitting in section 114, row 9, seat 12, right there, and I just still couldn't believe what was unfolding before my eyes. How did the Buccaneers shoot themselves in the foot? Because I've been telling people all week, I don't think the Saints won. I think the Bucs just lost.
They beat themselves.
Absolutely. So I want to know, what is your take overall before we break down the game by class?
Here we go. When you're on the road, in order for you to win on the road, you have to be able to play defense. You also have to be able to run the ball. You also have to create turnovers, not give turnovers. They did not do any of those things in that formula. The defense was not shutting people down. The offense was letting that 44-year-old man tore up, but he had some fault in it too, because he holding on the ball again, trying to go for the bombs, keep going for them bombs instead of just getting it out of his hands, get rid of it. Why are we not running the ball more? In order for us to be successful in the playoffs, we have to be able to run the ball. We also have to be able to play defense. Plus, we have to be able to create turnovers and don't turn the ball over, even if it ain't playoff in the game, period. If a person turning the ball over, you're not going to win this game because you're giving the game away. You turn the ball over this many times to them, you're giving it to them. You might well say
you got to keep your defense off the field.
And they scored off of it. So now you just gave two freebies away. Now you got to play catch up. The clock is against you now because you wasn't doing what you're supposed to do at the beginning anyway. Like, why? We all know the formula to get to Tom Brady. All you got to do is pressure him up the middle and make him have to go outside that pocket. He don't want to do that. That's why most defensive ends, when they try to rush him, they try to hurry up and squeeze in on that offensive tackle to cut that edge off because they know Tom gonna step up if they go right past him. So they're trying to squeeze and get close. So they did the right game plan. The Saints did. It's just the offensive line was looking around at each other like they didn't know what was going on, which really making me mad. I'm like, man, it's 5 of y'all, 5 of them. Running back, let our guy get killed. He's supposed to be over here. I don't know why you running backs when y'all in pass blocking, y'all just use y'all shoulders. I don't get that. I don't understand it at all. Like we don't do swim drills and rip drills as defensive linemen or defensive players at all. Come on. Mm-hmm. If you throw your shoulder at me, I'm just going to swim over you. And then I'm going to go right past you and let you keep falling while I go pop your quarterback. You stop doing that. Kids, stop watching this crap. Some of them, I don't know. They get that money and they just go to their head. You use your hands. Yeah. When you're on the football field, your hands are your eyes. We did not play any situational football at all. I don't understand why are we throwing in situations that we should be running the ball.
Yep.
And we got the guy to do it according to the last past games. We had the guy, but I can't even blame it on that dude because he didn't even get enough touches. So I can't yell at him this week and be like, "Oh, this guy sucks." No, he didn't get enough touches for me to even say that.
Yeah.
So that's completely on play calling right there. So Brian, Bruce, y'all have to figure it out. Todd,
yeah. Byron Leftwich was definitely making some questionable play calls, and I really wanted them to pound the ball, especially late in the fourth quarter when we had 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock, and Brady threw almost an interception. And then it seemed like he threw it to the same exact spot, and that's when it got picked off for a pick six.
Yep.
Didn't understand it.
They already tapped in.
I was confused.
They looking around like they didn't know what was going on. Then you got some guys that was already tapped out. They already tapped out because they already they was down already. Those are not the guys you want, but they already tapped out. I ain't never seen them do that in a long time. Even when they was playing against the Rams, they didn't sit there and just take it. They was fighting. Yeah. But this game, they just tapped out. And I don't understand. Like y'all letting Tom Brady get popped. Like he was getting popped way too much.
Yeah, I believe 4 times. I think he was sacked about 4 times, and one resulted in a fumble turnover. And I kind of saw Brady's age for a second because when he dropped the ball, he looked at it and it was just a few feet away from him, and it's like his body didn't respond quick enough to jump on top of the ball, try to regain possession. He kind of just sat there and looked at it. And I was so mad. I'm like, Tom, what are you doing? Like I was screaming at Tom, what are you doing?
I give him two choices on that. Either he was doing it like Cam Newton and he was scared because that body was talking to him, or 2, like you said, he in his mind he was getting it, but his body just was not keeping up.
Mm-hmm.
Like Muhammad Ali, when he got older, he used to say, "I see the jab coming. Here you go, back."
Right.
He's saying
not keeping up.
Ain't moving back quick enough no more.
Right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This is Ruth the Truth, joined with Coach Jay Morgan. This is the Tom Gronkowski Show, brought to you by Fans Only Sports Network. We're here to bring you what's best of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and unfortunately today it wasn't Victory Monday this week, so we definitely got to, kind of unravel what transpired on that 3:25 New Orleans time game. Well, before I went to the game, I decided to do some, I was trying to wreak some havoc. I wanted to go talk to some Bucs fans. I wanted to go talk to some, some Saints fans as well. So I took to Bourbon Street. Have you ever been in New Orleans, Coach?
Nope. Everything is about to change. I'm about to be everywhere.
You're about to be everywhere? Absolutely. I think, this was my 3rd trip to New Orleans. The first time I went to New Orleans was for Halloween of 2017. I went dressed as a Dallas Cowboys fan. All right. The second time I went to New Orleans was for a girls' trip on Valentine's Day. And then that was interesting. I have a friend whose birthday is on Valentine's Day, and that's where she wanted to go as her girls' trip. So I was like, heck yeah, New Orleans is definitely girls' trip type of material. So my 3rd trip to New Orleans. So as I was dressed as a pirate, because as you know, it was Halloween Day, so I had to get into the spirit. I got a nice little pirate costume from Party City. Shout out to Party City. It was a last minute grab because I always leave things for last minute. But I took to Bourbon Street to try to pick out some Saints fans to talk to them and do like a live stream for the NSPN network that I'm working with now.
Yeah.
And man, was it entertaining. These Saints fans were pumped up. They were they all were very excited. And they were like, Jameis Winston is our guy.
What?
And I'm like, really? You guys have the
that.
confidence in Jameis? And they were like, listen, you guys didn't know how to deal with Jameis in Tampa. But now that he's been sitting under Drew Brees for a year, he has been acclimated to Sean Payton's offense. Now it's a whole different ball game. I mean, he did go 4 games without having a turnover, which is something that we're not used to seeing.
I know.
But I try to warn these Saints fans. I said, don't get too excited.
You're going to do something.
18 weeks in the NFL season.
The man.
But this was obviously prior. This was before the game. And I'm pretty sure that you saw what happened in the second quarter with Jameis Winston, who has suffered a season-ending, was it ACL or MCL? I think it was an ACL tear in his knee. And they replayed that whole injury and the way that his knee like cocked to the side as his body. Oh, it looked bad. It looked really, really bad. So before Jameis was taken out of the game due to injury, how did you think he was measuring up against the Tampa Bay's defense?
He was making them.
If at all.
He was what?
If at all.
He honestly, this is what I've been telling people. I feel 2 ways about it. Honestly, based on how he is with Sean Payton's offense, he can do some damage because Simeon was doing damage when the up front them couldn't do nothing about it. When they couldn't do nothing about it, then that's when he started, picking on the defensive backs. They started getting picked on real tough. Yeah. Then right after that, Jameis gets hurt. I think if Jameis stayed in the game, honestly, I'm sorry, Saint fans, we would have won. Jameis would have gave that thing to us. I know he would have. Yeah. I don't care what nobody say. This guy yesterday gonna tell me, "Oh, Jameis, this was his year to take us to the Super Bowl." You crazy?
Yeah, before Jameis Winston got hurt in the second quarter, he was 6 for 10 for 56 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, with a rating of 108. Yep. So, but he was also rushing the ball a lot too, which I see. That's the thing that worries me about that style of play when it comes to quarterbacks is the more that you rush the ball, and obviously you're trying to extend the play, you want to move the chains, but you're putting yourself up to injury. You're risking it every single time that you decide to run the ball because these defenses are going to take advantage of that. Oh, he wants to come out of the pocket. Oh, he's trying to get the first down. Well, we're going to make him pay. We're going to make sure that he gets hit as hard as possible. And it wasn't really a hit. It was more of like a tug on his jersey that kind of lopsided his body as he was running one direction. And that's what caused that knee to just kind of buckle in the wrong direction. Man, that was really hard to see. But it went from being extraordinary loud in that Caesars Superdome to the point where I was thinking about going to buy like earplugs. Because there was a Saints fan that was sitting directly behind me that was doing that whistle thing. Yeah. That very, very, very high pitched whistle thing. Oh, do you know how to do that for real?
No, my cousin do. I've been trying to learn it for years.
Don't even learn. That it's too much. It's too much. It's too high pitched. It's like a frequency that normal human ears should not be listening to. I feel like when you whistle like that, all the dogs in the whole state of Louisiana are hearing you, because they have that supersonic hearing that can hear those high pitched sounds.
Still to this day, he got this little whistle that he do. Like if we all scatter, like say we all at an amusement park or something like that. So if he'll be wherever he at, he gonna say, "We
Round the troops."
And we know that whistle, and we all just come. We've been doing this in Chicago, Indianapolis. Shoot, like I say, we do it at amusement parks. We did it over at Universal Studios, Island of Adventures. That's how he got all our attention. It was like, all right, like we just follow the whistle. You know what that means? That means everybody follow that whistle.
But after Jameis got hurt, that crowd went from being electric and loud to everybody sitting down. And I was coming back from buying some popcorn and getting a bottle of water, and I'm coming back to my seat, and I'm like, why did everybody get so quiet? What's going on? And then they do the replay, and I'm like, oh, Jameis got hurt? Oh my God, Jameis got hurt. Yeah. That's not good for you Saints fans. And they seemed so depleted. But once they were able to score again and take the lead before the second half, they went right back to being their old cheerful selves. And they were like, we're going to get this done with or without Jameis. So huge disappointment, but we are going to take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this Saints matchup. We appreciate you tuning in. Give us a nice comment down below. Let us know you're watching and let us know where you're from. We'll be right back on the Tom Gronkowski Show.
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion or you think a concussion has occurred.
Yeah.
The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make this game, our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
Shout out to the Odyssey Group and the work that they do to help these NFL players sustain concussions and not have detrimental futures after the NFL. We appreciate all the hard work that you do for that. Coach Jay, trade deadline was November 2nd.
Yeah. Hey.
Did you anticipate the Buccaneers trading Ronald Jones? Because for some reason that made headlines. Were you surprised that they did not? Because Bruce Arians took to the press conference when somebody asked him this following the Saints game, and he said, somebody is going to have to give me a crazy offer for me to even entertain the idea of trading Ronald Jones. Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, he better not. But at the same time, telling Ronald, hey, man, I just took up for you. Hey, get it. I'll make a trade with the Lions.
I'll do it right now. I'll send you to Detroit. I'm not playing. I'll send you to Detroit right now.
Right now. I swear I will. Get your mind right. For real. I stuck my neck out for you. I expect you to stick your neck out for me. Period.
Yeah.
Because he need to play like he was playing last year. Like, seems like him and Fournette and switch roles. Fournette, he got that ring. And then he started going. This man, he want to keep because he want to get another one. Remember, that man was in Jacksonville. I think when you've been like on losing teams and all that so long, it humbles you when you've been in situations.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it humbles you. So of course, when you on a winning squad, when you winning now and stuff ain't negative no more, everything's positive now. You getting better and better. Stuff don't phase you that much. So of course you want to get you hungry still. I want another one. Like I'm happy for Matt Stafford that he played with the Rams. He been getting killed for years with the Lions.
Yeah.
Now when he throw an interception, it really is his. Them other interceptions at the Lions was his fault too, but it's really his fault now because man, you shouldn't be throwing no interceptions with the Rams. Come on now, you got like 5 guys out there that can catch. So why are you looking at the one and running backs? So you good plus a defense that you can trust. Speaking of that, the defense is even better now.
Because they picked up Von Miller.
Vaughn.
They got Vaughn now. Man, they got Jalen Ramsey. They got Von Miller. They got Aaron Donald. It's like
Jalen Ramsey. They got everybody.
They got everybody. They got all the main pieces covered when it comes to defense. So I think the Rams are only going to get better defensively.
I know.
As long as Matthew Stafford could, average 21 to 28 points a game, I don't think that they can be beat right now. Not the way they're looking, but we'll see how their season pans out. But let's go back to our running back talk. So Giovanni Bernard only had 2 attempts for 30 yards, with 24 being his longest. Leonard Fournette only had 8 attempts for 26 yards.
Why?
13 the longest. Ronald
Wow.
Jones had 3 attempts for 13 yards, with 9 being the longest, and Brady rushed 1 time for 2 yards.
So that's like 20 times that we ran the ball out of the whole 60 minutes.
13 times.
13 times.
13 times.
So we ain't even past 15. So out of 13, we only ran the ball 13 times out of the whole game. First quarter all the way to fourth. No.
I don't get it. And then Alvin Kamara for the New Orleans Saints had 19 attempts for 61 yards. Jameis Winston rushed 4 times for 40 yards. Mark Ingram, who was the new signing for the New Orleans Saints after being traded back to the Saints, he had 6 attempts for 27 yards. Harris had 1 attempt for 22, and Simeon also rushed 2 attempts for 2 yards. So, I mean, that's pretty much, our rushing attempts were half of what the New Orleans Saints, and that is our bread and butter. I mean, we cannot always depend on Tom Brady to throw the ball. He almost threw for 400 yards.
That's what I'm saying.
28 completions out of 40, 4 touchdowns, which sounds great, but those 2 interceptions were costly.
Yeah.
Especially the one late in the fourth quarter that could have, if we would have been able to get down the field, that would have been a win for the Tampa Bay Bucs. But now they're sitting at 6-2.
I'm sick and tired of looking at receivers and quarterbacks looking like they don't know what's going on. They just did this crap. What was it? With the Packers and the Cardinals, run blocking when you know it's a pass, and y'all look around, act like y'all don't know the play. What am I paying you for? What am I paying you for? Like, how you don't know that play? You know the play. You've been in practice all week. Because if you didn't, I don't know why you're in anyway in situations like this. Mm-hmm. So I hate that every time when some pick is thrown. The reason why that last pick got took to the house because everybody had tapped out and gave up. And I guarantee nothing was said to them. Somebody's supposed to make a play, try to knock it out their hands. So it happens. It's happened before.
It's happened plenty of times.
You come there, boom, you knock it out of his hand. Now you got the ball back. You never know. That's why I tell people when you chasing somebody, if they actually have you chasing them, you never stop because you can touch. If any of y'all ever seen the movie, Remember the Titans, they was about to get scored on and lose the state championship game. Petey did not. Yeah, Petey did not. No, it was Julius Campbell, the defensive end. He ran him down, hit the guy from behind. Boom, dude was gone by himself about to score. Hit him, made him fumble the ball. Petey picked it up, going the other way. They got a whole possession, game changer. Those are missed opportunities. And basketball, and Truth would agree with this, those are called hustle points. Right?
Absolutely.
Those are called hustle points.
Yeah. When the game's on the line, you got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. Why are you
got nothing to lose?
You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You never know. Like when they say you get a penalty and people got their heads down, man, that's all right. Reload. Because even though that just happened, for one, we get to hit you again. So you got to deal with us.
99 yards in penalties for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the New Orleans Saints had like 40.
See?
99 compared to 40?
You cannot.
What is going on? Ross Cockrell with that late holding call that gave the Saints a first down to allow them to score again. Like,
lazy.
Man, oh man, what is going on? Like, clean it up.
That's Tom Brady.
That's why I said I don't feel like the Saints beat the Bucs. I think the Bucs beat the Bucs.
Yeah, the Bucs beat the Bucs because if the Bucs was clicking and they was doing a thing that they do like they was doing last year and all that, when they actually play for real, that's why I keep saying they did this stuff last year a little bit too. Mm-hmm. Man, stop choosing when y'all gonna show up and play, man. Come on and just get it going. Because we had y'all at we had them at 6-1 still.
Yeah.
When we wrote that stuff down, we had them at 6-1. Mm-hmm. So now 7, there's what?
Coach, I gotta ask you a question. Did you use a permanent marker on that board on accident?
No, where? I ain't got no permanent marker on there.
No? Okay, so you always have those notes up there? Okay, I just had to verify because I had a person in the audience ask me, like, does he have all that on there because he can't take it off or he just keeps that on there? And I was like, I don't really know. He used to start with an all whiteboard. But
it be flowing. And I keep writing, and I got all kinds of notes on there about everything. So I keep it on there. Ladies and gentlemen, I add on to it. It's been some stuff on there that, it looks familiar that you've seen, but it's probably a different play.
Yeah.
Same formation, just different play. And I got so many defenses on there that I'm trying to go against because I want to make sure that I can run it or pass it against anything I see. No play goes into my playbook until you have passed my whiteboard test. Before I write you down that's real talk. Before I write you down in my book, I make sure I put every defense against that play because if something happened, I ain't trying to look like the dude off Waterboy and don't know how to beat it. If I see it, I want to be able, okay, so they using my play. We're just going to do this. That's all you got to do on that. So you ain't going to catch me slipping. It's all right.
So we're going to rattle off some of the team stats from the New Orleans Saints game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs had 16 first downs. New Orleans had 26. The Bucs were 8 of 13 on third down. New Orleans Saints were 5 and 14 on third down. The total net yards for that game, the Bucs had 421. New Orleans had 336.
All right.
The rushing yards for that game, for the Tampa Bay Bucs in total, out of all their rushers, they rushed the ball for 71 yards between those 4 people that rushed the ball. The New Orleans Saints had 152 yards rushing.
I was just about to say it. As an offense, especially if you're on the road.
They doubled.
On the road. Yeah, they doubled it. You must be able to run the ball on the road, and you must be able to play defense and not turn the ball over.
Oh, and I made a mistake on that penalty call. Let me correct myself. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 11 penalties for 99 yards. The New Orleans Saints had 2 penalties for 10 yards.
See? Discipline.
The Bucs had 3 turnovers, including 2 interceptions by Tom Brady and a fumble. And the New Orleans Saints had 0 turnovers.
See?
I think the only person that had a pretty excellent game for the Tampa Bay Bucs would probably be Bradley Pinion, the punter.
Yep.
To be honest.
Pinning them in.
Yeah, because every single time he punted the ball, he was able to put that in the end zone, which, helped them out in a sense. But yeah, pretty disappointing loss for the Tampa Bay Bucs. But what do they need to concentrate as they go into this bye week? I'm actually gonna look. I think they play Charlotte. No, not Charlotte. But what do you think they need to do during this bye week to kind of revamp themselves as they face the Washington football team on the 14th of November?
Oh, they better get back hungry.
In Washington. It's a 1:00 game in Washington.
Because if they go in there talking about, it's just Washington, y'all, we good. This is the same team that was giving you a little bit of fight in the playoffs. So Chase Young is looking to hit you. He said he wants you. And after just seeing that tape with New Orleans, they're going to try to do the same stuff that New Orleans did, only they're going to put it in their ways.
Yeah, the Washington football team right now is 2-6.
Yeah. But, hey, you go in there and you play them like they 2-6, they're going to play you like they 6-2. So that's real talk right there.
I like that.
So they need to go in there and make sure that they playing them like they the champions already that they going against. Because if they go in there settle, they're going to get killed again, going to get punched in the face again. They're going to be looking around for excuses.
Yeah. But remember last season, once the Bucs went on the bye week, they came back healthy and they were undefeated for the rest of the season after returning for the bye week. So they had the Washington football team for week 10. Then they faced the New York Giants again. Or no, I don't think they played the Giants yet this season. Then they played the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. Then they go back home to take on the Falcons. And then actually they travel to Atlanta to play the Falcons because they already played Atlanta at the Raymond James Stadium. And then they're going to play the Bills.
Yeah, so they're getting tested twice, 2.5, because the Falcons, since it's the rival, they might give them they might try to stick with them. But if you treat them like the true people that they are, you'll see their character come out. But the Colts and the Bills, you getting tested. Those two teams, my boy.
Yeah, right now the Buffalo Bills are 5-2, and they are playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 1-6. They're playing in Jacksonville, but I want to say that the Buffalo Bills are probably going to pull that one out. So, Josh Allen has been looking great. Their defense has been looking pretty okay. I think Sean McDermott has definitely had that offense in check. So, I think the Buffalo Bills are probably going to be the next team that's really, really going to test them. But, you don't want to overlook your opponent no matter who it is. So I think the Bucs are going to have to come back from this bye week recharged. Coach Jay, do you want to do your X's and O's before we say goodbye to our audience?
No, we don't need to do X's and O's because it's a bye week.
Right.
So
true. No game plan for this week. The Bucs need to rest. Rob Gronkowski had one attempt in the game. They put him in like halfway through the first quarter. I saw him jogging in. I got really excited. Gronk, Gronk, Gronk. Really, really excited to see him back on the field. And then after halftime, I seen him padless and on the sidelines. And I'm like, wait a minute. And he was just hanging out with the tight ends coach. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why is Rob not in full gear right now?
Because he's not ready.
What the heck is going on? Do you think the Bucs brought him back too soon?
Yeah. Or
because he's been out since the Rams game in week 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If he took his pads off and all that, then that means that, hey, not yet. One more. Wait 1 to 2 more weeks.
Bruce Arians had said that Rob was dealing with back spasms that are directly correlated with the rim injuries that he sustained in week 3 against the Rams. So was not ready to return, and it showed. And I'm glad that they didn't push the subject.
That's what I'm saying.
Because we need Rob to be healthy when it comes to playoff time. So pull a Belichick and sit Rob out until you absolutely need him. So
that's all right.
We also have Scotty Miller that has been taken off the IR list and has been started to do the 21 days of practice for him to return as a wide receiver for the Bucs. And we've been missing Antonio Brown. So having Scotty Miller return would be a big positive for the Buccaneers. And there was also somebody else who returned for the Bucs that was on IR. Before I say the wrong name, I just want to double check. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers today announced that wide receiver Scotty Miller and cornerback Sean Murphy-Bunting who are both on the reserve injured list began their 21-day practice period today, which was November 2nd when they released that statement. They are eligible to be promoted to the active roster at any time during the 21-day window for the Buccaneers. So good news for the Bucs that they're getting Sean Murphy back, as well as Scotty Miller, who will definitely be helpful with Antonio Brown dealing with the ankle injury. And where was Mike Evans for that New Orleans Saints game? I'm telling you, the Saints are like Brady and Mike Evans kryptonite.
No.
Marshawn Lattimore, safety for the New Orleans Saints, was not having it. Was shutting down Mike Evans. I believe he only had 4 targets with 2 receptions for 48 yards and 1 touchdown.
Couldn't do nothing else. Tom was getting ready to get killed. He had to keep getting rid of it.
Right. Thanks so much, Coach Jay, for joining me, as well as your lovely daughter. Good to see you, boo. Do you have any final thoughts before we say goodbye to our audience?
Let's all just rest up, okay? Collect our thoughts. It's all right. In the words of Star-Lord.
Put the game behind us.
Let's forget about it. Short-term memory, okay? We're not going to let this happen again. Let's just relax.
And as I was telling, like I was telling the Saints fans, I said, hey, you guys can have this regular season win. We'll see how you guys look at the end of December when we see you December 19th when you guys come to the Raymond James.
They ain't coming.
Hopefully it won't be
They ain't coming. No. So you giving them credit. If we're gonna
they beat us in week 1 they beat the Bucs in week 1 last season, and then came to the Raymond James Stadium towards the end before they went on the bye. I believe it was the last team that they played before they went on the bye, or that could have been Kansas City. But completely dominated, only letting the Bucs score 3 points.
That's all right.
So but you know what? Like I was telling the Saints fans that were kind of mocking me as I was walking back to my hotel.
Yeah,
you guys can have the regular season. We'll see you in the playoffs.
No, we not, because y'all not gonna be there. You're not gonna be there because
you don't think the Saints are gonna make the playoffs?
No, man. They got 2. First of all, we're at the top of the chain still. So even though they beat us, okay, whoop-de-doo, Basil. Okay, that's nothing because we still got Aaron Rodgers. We still have the Rams plus the who is this? Cardinals. Yeah. So we're not worried about the Saints. They're not even in our league.
You're not even going to mention the Dallas Cowboys? Not even once?
Oh, yeah. I knew it was one more I was missing. I don't really talk about NFC East. I keep forgetting about them. Come on now. It's been years. They've been getting killed. You call them the NFC least.
We exist.
Okay. Well, yeah, the Cowboys.
Some type of relevance with the, Dallas Cowboys leading the division. None of the other teams are really doing much. Washington is 2-6. The Philadelphia Eagles are 3-5, and they're facing the Los Angeles Chargers this week. So that would be a great matchup with Justin Herbert and Brandon Stanley.
The Saints are not even on the list. When they showed after we lost, I ain't see no Saints. There was no Saints at the top.
Who do the New Orleans Saints play this week? Oh, they play Atlanta. Atlanta's 3-4. Saints are now 5-2. They match
Saints
off this
win.
Sunday.
So the Falcons got to win. Watch, because hey, send me watch.
Well, I hope they don't win because I picked the New Orleans Saints to win, so I don't need to lose that bet. So
I hope not. But they are not even on the list, so we ain't even worry about sending them in. We just gonna y'all can take the regular season win. Just make sure that y'all, kiss our Lambeau lights while we gone.
Right. All right, Coach Jay, we're gonna call it a night. I gotta hop over to the sports arena to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you so much for joining me for another week of the Tom Gronkowski Show. And to you, baby girl, you guys have a great night, and I will see you next week.